Alright, people, so a few days ago, WWE decides to release 8 people. And I'm going to go through these people here and kind of tell you what I think about them and elaborate. So, the first person we got here is, let me just fix this first here. First person we got here is Damien Sandow, or Damien Mizdow, whatever the fuck you want to call him. Quite a shame they released this guy here. Because, I mean, he wasn't like the next Rock. He wasn't the next Stone Cold Steve Austin or anything like that. But he was definitely a talent. He definitely had talent. He had promo ability. You know, he obviously was doing something right there with The Miz. The crowd was into him. And he was doing pretty well for himself. But they fucked that all up. Just another example of WWE fucking shit up. You know, they had a great thing going there with Sandow and The Miz and whatever. And it had potential. Then you know, Sandow kind of broke off from The Miz there, and then they just forgot about it. They just fucking forgot about it. And they didn't do anything with it. It's like the thing they did with Zack Ryder. He had momentum, and they just fucked it up and didn't do anything with it. And like I said, Sandow had talent. I mean, like I said, he wasn't like great, but he had talent. He had promo ability. But unfortunately, they released him. They fucking released him, which is quite a shame. Quite a fucking shame. Because he didn't do anything to deserve him getting demoted this much in the company and becoming irrelevant. I mean, he wasn't one bit irrelevant for like the last year or I don't know how long. He was hardly on TV, like, I believe, like the past year. I mean, what a fucking shame. You know, like I said, a guy who the crowd liked, a guy who had talent, just fucking wasted. Then we have Wade Barrett, King Barrett, whatever. Bad News Barrett. And again, WWE kind of you know, they made him win King of the Ring, which I mean, if you look at the people who won King of the Ring, you know, Steve Austin, I believe Lesnar won it. And then fucking King Barrett wins it. Oh, so now he's King Barrett. Okay. And you think they're going to make him into, you know, they're going to push him or something since he won King of the Ring, but no, he becomes a fucking jobber. Just, again, another example of how disorganized this company is and how dumb this company is. So, then he starts wearing some fucking weird-ass robe, some plastic crown, and I believe he was carrying some fucking stick or whatever. Oh, he's king, he's walking around like that. And he had some weird fucking feud, I believe, with R-Truth. After that, it was just a disaster. And now, I guess he wants to go his separate way. You know, I heard he wanted to, you know, leave for a little bit, so... I mean, you can't put any blame towards WWE here, but I mean, it's not like Wade Barrett was that great. I mean, I guess he was okay, but he wasn't awful, he wasn't great. I mean, a lot of people liked Wade Barrett for some reason. I never thought he was anything too special, but, you know, not too much can really be said about this release here because it was kind of up to Wade Barrett, I guess, because he's posted something that he wanted to get away from wrestling. Yeah, I don't blame him, you know. Wants to get away from a shitty-ass company, you know. I can't, you know, comprehend why, you know, some of these people like Ziggler stick around. I mean, how could you stick around you know, how could you fucking work for a guy like Vince McMahon? I mean, holy shit. The guy he drives me crazy. I can't imagine how crazy, you know, people are driven crazy by him who actually work for him and have to be around him all the fucking time. Or have to be around his minions all the time. So, you know, you can't really blame Wade Barrett there for wanting to fucking leave for a little bit. But, I mean, like I said, I didn't really see, you know, that much talent in Wade Barrett. He wasn't horrible. Like I said, probably somewhere in the middle there, you know, okay, mediocre. Yeah, I don't think he was that as great as people are building him up to be. And that's only from what I've seen. I know he did the whole Nexus thing, and that was really when he was probably at his height. I wasn't watching back then, so I can't comment on that. But from what I had seen from Wade Barrett, I don't know. It just, I mean, the Bad News Barrett promos were pretty good. Maybe they just didn't give him the right gimmick, but I thought he was okay. You know, I didn't really think he was anything too special. Wasn't the greatest wrestler. So then we have Santino. Holy fucking shit! What? Why is Santino even fucking? Why was he still employed? I know he had a neck injury. That had to be like a year or two ago, where they announced Santino probably will not be wrestling again. So why is he fucking still on the roster? That is another example of how dumb this company is. Keeping a fucking waste. First, even if he was capable of wrestling, there is no way he should be on the roster. A fucking goofball retard like Santino. Why is he on the roster? I don't fucking know. So, they finally released him. Like, he's doing nothing. He's just fucking sitting on his ass all day. Like, what? Why is he on the roster? What the fuck? I mean, what a waste. Fuck. So Santino is a fucking talentless, boring piece of shit. Like why the fuck was he ever employed? You know what? Anybody could be fucking with Santino. Fucking put a sock puppet on his hand and fool around like a fucking retard. Like Santino was the worst. Yeah, I'm glad in one aspect, I'm glad they released him because he is a fucking disaster. You know, I don't know, maybe he does have talent, but he's ruined by his gimmick. But the point is, his fucking Santino Marella, the gimmick, the character, was a fucking disaster. And the fact that he couldn't wrestle again, probably, that's even more reason to let him go. But they kept him around? Why? Why? How dumb. How fucking dumb. This company just pisses me off. So yeah, in one aspect, I'm glad that they released him, but this should have been done a long fucking time ago. Next one, we got Hornswoggle. How the fuck did he manage to stay around for as long as he did? A fucking 3-4 foot midget. I mean, again, this guy was doing nothing for the past 2 years, year. It's hard for me to keep track of time, but he's been doing nothing as of late. So again, why is he still employed if he's been sitting on his ass all day? All year for the last year or two. I mean, it just boggles my mind again how dumb this company is. You know, like normally if you have a job, you actually do shit. You're actually doing something. But what's Hornswoggle been doing for the past year? It's not been on my television screen, that's for sure. And again, what's the point of having this guy around? Fucking comedy for fucking 6-year-olds? I mean, this guy, Hornswoggle, was a fucking joke. He didn't do... Actually, I will say that they had that WLC match, like 2 years ago? That was good. I gotta say, that was good. But for the majority of the shit Hornswoggle did, it was fucking dumb as shit. You know, it was childish garbage. I remember he was walking around with Kyle Lee at one point. I mean, there's not many good memories from Hornswoggle. And again, a waste of money, a waste of time. Should have gotten, you know, like I said, I'm glad they're getting rid of him. He's a waste of space. No pun intended there, you know, space. You know, because I guess he is short, so sorry for him to be a waste of space. No pun intended with that shit. But like with Santino, I'm glad they got rid of him, but it should have been done a long ass time ago. Then we have Alex Riley. Not much to say about Alex Riley because I didn't really see him. Again, like I started watching before he was, you know, with The Miz and everything like that, so I can't really comment too much on Alex Riley. Then we have Cameron. Again, Cameron, where the fuck has she been? Again, not doing anything for the past fucking year. But she's got to be getting paid, right? You know, these people have contracts, so they have to be making something, right? I mean, they can't just be under contract and making nothing. They got to be making a good amount of money. So again, Cameron, a person who hasn't been on my television screen in a year or two? And it's good they released her. I believe she was just fucking hired to be on First she was intended to be a Funkadactyl. Oh, remember that disaster of a gimmick with Brodus Clay? Oh yeah, big Brodus Clay. Fucking dancing like a lunatic with two of his fucking hoes. One of them actually has a little bit of talent there, Naomi. pretty fucking athletic. The other one's fucking sucked. Cameron. I mean, good, they released her, but again, should have been done a long time ago. Long ass time ago. Then we have Zeb Coulter. I don't get this one. Zeb Coulter, a talent. Definitely has talent. And with WWE's, if you look at people like Roman Reigns who can't cut a promo to save his life, why are you getting rid of a guy who could actually, that actually knows how to cut a promo? Zeb Coulter, if anybody, I'm sure a lot of people know him as Dutch Mantel, is a very knowledgeable guy about the business. He's been around wrestling, I believe, for a long ass time. He's been a writer. He's been a manager. He's cut many promos, I believe. He's a very, very knowledgeable guy about the business. So why they fired him is beyond me. Why they released him? I mean, he had fucking talent. He had promo ability. Then they released him. I just don't know, man. I don't know what they're thinking with this one. I mean, I get fucking why you would release Santino, Hornswoggle, Cameron, El Torito, Santino. I get why you release those guys. I just said do it earlier, or not even hire these people in the first place. But good, I'm happy they got rid of those people. But Zeb Coulter, a guy who's knowledgeable in the business, knows how to cut promos, they get rid of him. I mean, are you kidding me? And like I said, when you have a generation, a group of people in wrestling right now who don't know how to cut promos like Roman Reigns, it's like, I mean, and a lot of people can cut promos, but then a lot of people can't. Or maybe it's just because they're fucking not, they're held back. I don't know. But, I mean, if you look at people, it's kind of easy to tell if they, actually can cut a promo or can't. Like, I mean, if you look at Paul, I mean, even if we know everything's scripted and shit in WWE, I mean, if you look at a guy like Paul Heyman, he still manages to cut good promos. So, I mean, but then you look at a guy like Roman Reigns, it's like, it's night and day between Reigns and Heyman. So even in the scripted world of WWE, you can kind of still tell who has talent on the mic and not, and who doesn't. And I'm sure there's still people in WWE who could have had Zeb Coulter help them if they're like a great wrestler, but they can't cut a promo. And maybe Zeb Coulter helps them. As their manager or something like that. I mean, managers have been used in wrestling for fucking years. So why they got rid of Zeb Coulter? So I don't know. And the guy who's knowledgeable about the business, I mean, that would be a great guy to have around in the locker room to help the younger guys out. I know they have that whole performance center and everything. I mean, that'd just be a great guy to have around when, somebody has a question about a promo or, what they're doing wrong or some shit. Just go ask Zeb Coulter, very knowledgeable guy. That's a great guy to have around. But no, they fucking release him. How dumb. Then the last one is El Torito. So they released 2 midgets. They released 2 midgets, then good. Again, El Torito, where the fuck has he been? Just sitting on his ass, employed by WWE. I mean, how dumb. Again, a guy that my money, your money is going towards, who's just sitting on his ass. And again, I don't see him on my television screen. Just, again, shows you how dumb this company is. I mean, they're employing people that aren't even really doing anything for their company. I mean, El Torito, what the fuck's he been doing for the past year or two? Nothing. And again, should have fucking got rid of him a long time ago. Shouldn't probably not have even had him. I mean, what's Vince McMahon's obsession with fucking midgets? I mean, they're midgets. They're so funny. I mean, I guess maybe for one segment it's funny, but I mean, Hornswoggle, El Torito. I don't fucking get why he loves all these midget guys, because in the long run they're a complete liability to this company. I don't get it. So that's kind of the main problem I have with all these releases, is these people have been they've been doing nothing for the company. but then they just fucking, now they release them. Should have been done a long time ago. In one aspect, I'm happy they got rid of all these shitty ass people. But then on the other aspect too, I'm looking at it. There's some people in here with talent that probably should not be released. And the two in particular are Sandow and Zeb Coulter. So, my overall view of these releases, this is overall. And this is talking about probably about 4. El Torito, Cameron, Hornswoggle, Santino. So I guess with half of these people, my view is, should have been, I'm glad they released these people. They were a waste of space. They had no point on being on the roster, but they should have done it a long fucking time ago. And probably shouldn't even have hired these people in the first place. Sandow, Coulter, talented. Shouldn't have released them. Should have built them up into, and given them a bigger spot, a more prominent spot on the roster. Barrett, it was his decision apparently to, take some time off. Again, can't blame him. It's been around fucking Vince McMahon and his minions. I mean, how, it must be pretty fucking annoying to work for a fucking lunatic like Vince McMahon. And then you got, like I said, Alex Riley. I haven't really watched too much of Alex Riley, so I can't comment on that one right there. But there you go, people. There's kind of my thoughts on the 8 releases. I'm sure you people have a lot of thoughts on them, so always be sure to leave them in the comments below. I like, to hear other people's opinions on shit, because sometimes I look at other people's comments and shit, and I say, hey, that's a good point, and I will sometimes bring them up in my videos too. If I hear a good opinion or a good comment, sometimes I'll bring it up. So there you go, people. There's my thoughts on the 8 releases from WWE.